I'm mostly positive, but I do have some thoughts. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here from Thematic doing to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And fun fact, here I am to give you my thoughts on the current state of this guy in 15 minutes. So, let's not waste more time. Let me start this timer right this instant. If I can get to the timer. So, Chainsaw Man is in its final battle, parentheses, question mark, close parentheses, if we're going to say open parentheses. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Here's the thing. I think overall, the battle is fitting just about everything it could fit in logistically, but I don't think it's beating me over the dome in the way I low-key wanted it to. And you may be like, Pencilman, you just threw out a sequence of words that makes no sense even with the context. Please elaborate. And I shall. So, here's my thing. Yoru is a fantastic character. She is simultaneously the perfect embodiment of the concept that she is in the case of war, while at the same time actually being a well-developed character with interesting character contradictions, interesting manipulations, interesting motivations, this, that, and the third. It's all good work on Yoru. I have no complaints about Yoru. In terms of the dangers, my glorious, handsome, legendary, hybrid, beast king, yes, he's actively cooking. Not only are we getting amazing examples of Denji battle IQ, we got a new transformation for him, we have him utilizing the transformation in interesting ways, we have him playing Asa in interesting ways, we're getting to see him work at basically his peak, and we have the literal manifestation of his perfectly balanced, perfectly accepted self in this new hybrid form, the absolute fusion between his regular Chainsaw Man form, he himself, and Bushido Black. That all works beautiful, scrumdiddlyumptious. I would say Asu's being used fine. I was gonna go into glazing Asa, but it's like she's not like. Unfortunately, she's kind of just a hostage, which is an interesting scenario to be in, right? It's a different scenario from the end of part 1, where she's like not a hostage in the same way that like anyone was a hostage, because notably like everyone Denji loved and cared about was kind of like by the end of part 1, but Asu's still here. Is that she's also, the main host for the main villain at the moment. So she's just in an interesting position, but because of her position, she's not really allowed to do much. Like, she had her whole character relation thing about like, oh, yeah, I actually intentionally tripped on purpose in order to make sure my father didn't get enough help in time. And yeah, that was really rough for me, but now I need to take responsibility. Except due to the fact that we do need to have a main villain, like, she's not necessarily allowed to take responsibility on her own. She needs to be helped by Denji, as Denji is the titular character. So Asa's kind of just left to Asa it everywhere. And unfortunately, it's not much of it being held hostage. But you may be wondering, okay, cool. All the characters are working fine. All right. The thematics of the narrative, this consistent battle of self-definition. What does it mean to be yourself? How do you express yourself within the world that you exist in? And very specifically, how do you let the definitions of others affect you or not affect you? All of that seems to be present as well and working just fine. That's cool. Then what's the problem? Why is it a struggle? What's going down, Pencil Man? Why do you have these complicated, mixed up thoughts about everything if you're leaning with it and rocking with it? And I'm leaning with it and rocking with it to a degree. Mainly because I feel like it's a little underwhelming. And I don't even know, this is one of those things that I've thought about back and forth. I was initially going to make the current state of Chainsaw Man, my thoughts video a while ago, but I wanted to let the battle get a little bit more underway. But I think one of my main examples of the battle being a bit underwhelming is in chapter 224. Moon, spear, spear. Now, obviously, while Yoru throwing the entire moon at Denji would have been hilarious, and honestly, the most glorious upscale I've literally ever seen. Okay, not ever seen. I've seen some crazy upscale in the day. I've seen verses go from planetary at best to complex multiversal, if not arguably hyperversal. So, it's not the most insane upscale. But it would have been beautiful, hilarious, amazing upscale. All that's cool. This is the spear. That's it. The moon just gets a spearhead. But you know what my thing, I'm running into the conflict again. Because this is one of my examples of it being underwhelming, right? Another thing that was underwhelming, but when I do the current state videos, I try to talk about just the most recent 3 chapters, because that's almost a month, it's the most recent, it's the current state, right? And the current state is, quote-unquote, the final battle between Yoru and Denji right now. So, when I talk about the spear being underwhelming, it's not that it doesn't make sense, right? Because we have to remember a big core part of Yoru's powers, as much as the whole idea of perception, I win, you lose, I own, you don't own, as much as that's been a thing, another very important thing about Yoru and her powers that have not necessarily been lost, but in fact only emphasized by how underwhelming certain things like the spear of the moon is the fact that Yoru needs to feel something about the things she's transforming into weapons. She needs to have, like, direct emotions attached to them, or else they just won't be as powerful. They won't be as potent. It's why a big part of the earlier part of part 2 was the idea of Asa getting connections and emotions and feelings about certain things. So the weapons she made were actually unique and well-designed and proper and had real emotional connections to them. Yoru doesn't care about the moon. She doesn't really care about, as much as she professes love for the nation that had the spear on the moon, or the flag on the moon, she didn't just really care about that. There's not much emotion behind it. So yeah, of course, when she says, I'll turn that into a spear, it just gets a spear tip and goes and attacks Denji. Yeah. It makes sense, but it's boring, though. And I think, well, not boring, underwhelming. I think that's my main thing. That's why I say where it's a struggle. A struggle in terms of how I feel, and in terms of how to write this kind of battle, right? Because you can definitely still have the levels of absurdity that Chainsaw Man is known for. We did flat out get that with Denji beginning to devour different aspects of the world. He ate legs! We didn't get to see a whole bunch of people lose their legs, including our two main characters, and our main antagonist and our main protagonist. So it was very funny to see them struggle without legs, and see the threat of Denji just using the powers of Pochita entirely to his free will with no logic, means, or reason of what he was doing. Because ultimately he knows he's in a hostage situation right now, so fighting Yoru is kind of pointless. But at the same time, he knows he still needs to defeat Yoru for having a chance at saving Asa, so thusly, he just starts eating things. It makes sense within the character, it makes sense within the narrative being told, and it makes sense that the characters react in the way they do. It all makes sense. If it's like, okay, then it gets undone. And then Denji kicks her away, and they're back to neutral. And then we're going to head to the underworld. Okay, cool. The top tier developing plot point, you know, the idea that we're going to dive into the depths and maybe explore the underworld a little bit more and see how powerful this Pochita Denji man is in comparison to Pochita Black, and see how the underworld deals with something like that. And then we're going to go do all and we're going to immediately leave the underworld. Okay. We're going to have Yoru throw the moon. Right? Yeah, the entire moon. All right. We're going to level that down. We're going to just have her use a spear. Okay. So the spear is going to be crazy. It's going to, from top line, it's going to use the moon as a homing system. The moon, the original satellite, it's going to go crazy. It's going to go bonkers. And it does, you know, it destroys the building. It pierces another D, and then it does give Denji the stabbers. And then he eats legs and disappears. Well, no, it doesn't disappear. The spear is just there. And then by next chapter, this, you know, crazy next level spear is gone. Like legitimately, it doesn't even exist anymore. You completely forgot about it. It did one thing, and now it's done. I mean, like it's fine. Makes sense, you know? It did its one thing. But I think that's my issue, right? Everything's making sense, but it's not hitting me. It's not sucker punching me in the stomach, digging the fist around, being like, yeah, how you like that? It's like, man, like I feel something. My cheek hurt right now because I actually just punched myself in the face. But like, that's it. And I feel like I find myself saying that more and more and more. That's it. Like, the fact that we now just have a random third party, right? Like we went to the underworld, we explored basically none of it. We got some nice Denji upscale, but then Locust came, went buku bonkers on Yoru. Locust is now immortal. Locust comes out, and it's bodying Denji. Like, I don't care about Locust. Like, don't get me wrong, it still makes sense. Like, and this is where I find myself going back and forth. It's why I'm struggling to give like a overall positive or really like even negative, because it makes sense why Locust would be so powerful. Because of not just the idea that locusts are mass-producing creatures with a whole bunch of just general lore significance in like our real world. That's like a whole lot of fear behind them, and they probably got giga amped by Lil D being removed, and this like Lil D being removes the one main weakness of locusts, that you can just one tap them. They're eternal, and then bugs are known for their like ability to regenerate and snap back into place. And of course, this is a D from the underworld being manifested into the real world. Like all this is crazy and cool, but also, you know, the whole plague of locusts, which is a heavy, big B book word I'm scared of saying because I don't want to get exploded. But that's the thing. Like, it makes sense why Locust is this powerful. and why it would interfere when they literally went to its home, apparently, as that's what the chapter's called. But, like, I don't know. It feels like we're kind of just throwing stuff at the wall. And here's the thing. I'll say this. We'll see how Locust goes next chapter, right? We'll see how Locust goes next chapter. But it feels like we're throwing things at the wall and we're not even seeing if they're sticking. That's my thing. Specifically, it's not included in these 3 sets of chapters, so maybe I shouldn't bring it up in a current My Thoughts video. But let me tell you, the state sword thing, man, underwhelming of doom and despair. It was literally one state just got entirely off screen. You know, Michigan sword entirely off screen. Then we got the Oregon sword, and it was literally just the word Oregon and the numbers of the country that Oregon's in. Like, I was just breaking doing it! And I think that's my thing. Like, stuff is happening, but I don't feel anything about it happening, which is weird. And, like, obviously, I can't testify to how Chainsaw Man Part 1 felt as a ongoing week-by-week experience. I can't testify because it wasn't there. Like, I remember Chainsaw Man initially coming out all those years ago, but, like, I wasn't there reading it week by week. I read Chainsaw Man Part 1 all in one go. So maybe I would have had the same complaint back then with the Makima battle. But I think the reason this feels different is because I'm not sure progress is even being made? Question mark, exclamation point? Like, it's not like Denji is particularly breaking down Yoru's will. If anything, the latest chapter shows that Yoru's doing the opposite. She's actually breaking down Denji's will by, you know, forcing her, or forcing Asa in danger, so Denji has to save both her and Asa, then leading to this interaction which gets them back out of the underworld. Like, I don't know. And it feels like concepts that could be really interesting are being actualized to the base limit of their potential, and then that's kind of it. You get like, okay, you're gonna get like one chapter of this hypothetical concept, then it's done. It's not gonna do anything too much, which is fine, which also just makes sense because there's no little D in this narrative anymore. So thusly, of course, certain things can happen, but like we're kind of in a endless PvE mode, right? Except it's not endless and it's PvP. Like, it doesn't feel like any damage that Denji takes really matters. Like, it did at first when he was reduced down to a head, but then we got to this point where he's just fine. He has an unlimited stock of little D's to eat, and he just keeps nomming on D, and he's perfectly fine. Yoru obviously has her contract, meaning no damage she takes is real either. She's gonna be perfectly fine. And any interesting concepts, like either, you know, the moon spear, or just throwing the moon, or the state swords, or using the states at all, or anything, or even just the removal of legs and the removal of concepts. Alright, you get one chapter, now it's done. Denji ate, what, like 2 things? And then Yoru stopped it. He threw it up, and then he gave up. He went straight to the underworld. And then, you know, went to the underworld. Did absolutely nothing with that other than, you know, go into Locust's home. And then got both of them bodied by Locust. Like, And it, like, it's the... And the reason, and the consensus, as I'm running out of time, because this I'm going to come to. This will be better once it's all done. But I think, as I think on it now, it feels not vapid. Because, like I said, the realization of Denji Man is fantastic for Denji's character. The characterization of Yoru is fantastic for, like, her battle IQ and her manipulations. That's actually really, really cool. And the utilization of their powers is interesting. We are still seeing them create new crazy weapons, erase different aspects of the world to unique ways and unique things. Like, it's still cool enough. But, like, it's like 7 out of 10 cool enough. It's not hitting that extra level of spice. It's not like my brain ain't booming at every single interaction, right? Like I feel like it should. Like, I feel like my toes should be curled reading every time. And, like, occasionally they are. But it's usually, like, my toes get curled, and then they gotta uncurl. It's just not that neat. Like, this is fine. I mean, it was cool seeing him eat leg and teeth, but that just gets immediately undone in the same chapter. Like Brody. Well, to be fair, though, he ended 224 eating legs and then went on to eat teeth. So, like, it's fine. It's fine. It's enough. It's enough. And I think that's okay. You know, it's okay that it's enough. And it's not even enough. It's, like, it's good enough. Or, like... It's like enough good. There we go. Not really good enough, because good enough sounds like still like, you just barely passed. It's not like Fujimoto's just barely passing. but it feels like they're playing with all these interesting concepts and ideas, but not giving them enough time and weight to flush them out and extrapolate them and do them in enough interesting ways that I feel like it's hitting as much as it could. But that could be literally just your boy being giga super dumb, supreme biased, and not letting Fujimoto cook. So of course, from this point on, now that I've gotten my thoughts out on the current state, I'm going to let Fujimoto cook. However, of course, that comes with the condition that Locust doesn't just immediately low diff and end the series, and then we start reading Locust Man, where he's secretly the strongest in the verse. But with it being the case, I've run out of time. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave just enough peak, I don't know, might as well, just enough peak in the comment section down below. And I thank you so much for watching. If you're going to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that link notification most of you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you're going to have a page down below. You support me for as low as $1 a month. You can things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include the live reactions to every other series I have to review, ad variations of all my videos, early ad-free access to all my videos, early ad-free access to all my videos, not just here on the main channel, but on the second channel that got the reaction, link in the description down below. And on top of that, you get your name listed at the end of every single video. And if you're a $3 member or higher, you get your name listed and read aloud at the end of every single video. Same thing for patrons. If you're a $3 patron or higher, you get your name listed and read aloud at the end of every single video. On top of that, I do my Ko-Fi link down below where you can drop 5 minutes or short video, 20 videos, long video. On top of that, I do my Twitch link down below. That guy the controller. Stream every Friday, 8 p.m. EST. Roll through. Holla at your boy. We have a fun time over there. But now, I want to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Glacier XZ, Zera, J2MA, Guillaume, Pura Ura, Enzo, Yuki Ally, Grim, Ollie, The Boy, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Magic, CCC, Romano Furen, Dino, Hector Gonzalez, Tim Thomas, Kaving, Julian Perez, RXN, Nevis97, Logan Kuzman, Dead Meme, Koru Deer, Christian Carter, Keon Stewart, Donovan McIntosh, Sino King, Hamza Idrisi, BNA DNA, Edwin Igbinoba, Straw, Athenzi Shear, Antavius Mitchell, Azo2404, Superflame Zero, Weary Exile, Window Life, Alex Kenny, Victor Jacobs, Todd, Dre, Axis XC, The Practical One, Aswin Hedi Presetia, JMD KD, Devi Pesiet, Landon Clapwick, Heath Nelson, CAET, Funny Dude, Jagoda, Plant Crone, Striker Man, Brandon Payne, Black Sage, and Multi-Batman Superman. Then I'll leave a thank you to Artline Art Tier patrons: A+A, Kevin Encarnacion, Sean, Dread Zoen, Midnight Lord 21, CJ, and Karina Hernandez. Then I'll leave a thank you to our Ink Tier members: King RTX, Shrimpo the 4th Shrimp 06, and Zom. Then I'll give a thank you to our Digital Art Tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a final thank you to our Colored Art Tier patrons: Walking Munoz and Walkie Munoz.